A very good morning to you. Objective Geology, multiple choice questions with answers. This is the solved question paper of Andhra Pradesh Research Common Entrance Test 2025 solved question paper. And I hope this solved question paper is useful for various competitive exams like CSIR, NET, GATE, GSI and other competitive exams. Welcome to set 2. Coming to the first question. Volcanoclastic rocks are, the choices are A. Class of pre-existing rocks, B. Chemical precipitates, C. Derived from volcanic ejecta, D. Biogenic. Volcanoclastic rocks are derived from volcanic ejecta. Volcanoclastic rocks are geological materials composed primarily of fragments of volcanic rock from explosive or effusive eruptions. Next question. Petroleum is primarily derived from A. Igneous rocks, B. Organic matter in source rocks, C. Hydrothermal fluids, and D. Coal. Petroleum is primarily derived from organic matter in source rock. Petroleum is primarily derived from organic matter in source rocks, which are sedimentary rocks rich in the remains of ancient marine organisms like algae and zooplankton. Over millions of years, heat and pressure from burial transform this organic matter into petroleum, which is then stored in other rock formations. Petroleum is primarily derived from organic matter in source rocks. B is the correct option. Next question. Ocean basins evolve mainly due to A. Plate tectonics, B. Meteorite impact, C. Climate change, and D. Glaciation. Ocean basins evolve mainly due to plate tectonics. Ocean basins evolve mainly due to plate tectonics, specifically seafloor spreading at mid-ocean ridges and subduction where plates collide. Seafloor spreading occurs when tectonic plates pull apart, allowing magma to rise and create new oceanic crust, causing the basin to widen. And the subduction is the process where one plate is forced under another, consuming oceanic crust and altering the basin shape. Ocean basins evolve mainly due to plate tectonics. A is the correct option. Next question. The Indian monsoon is primarily caused by A. Coriolis force, B. Differential heating of land and sea, C. Earth's rotation, D. Ocean currents. The Indian monsoon is primarily caused by differential heating of land and sea. The primary cause of the Indian monsoon is the differential heating of land and sea during the summer months. This creates a low pressure area over the Indian landmass, which pulls moisture laden winds from the high pressure cooler Indian Ocean towards the continent. Next question. The unit of stress in the SI system is A. Pascal, B. Joule, C. Newton, and D. Watt. The correct option goes as A. Pascal. The SI unit of stress is the Pascal, which is equivalent to 1 Newton per square meter, and it is defined as the force applied per unit area of a material. Next question. Gibbs phase rule formula is A. F is equal to C minus P plus 1 and B. F is equal to C minus P plus 2, C. F is equal to P minus C plus 1 and D. F is equal to 2C minus P. Gibbs phase rule formula is F is equal to C minus P plus 2. The Gibbs phase rule formula, in this equation, F represents the degrees of freedom and C is the number of chemical components and P is the number of phases present in the system. And this formula, it helps determine the number of independent variables like temperature or pressure that can be changed without altering the number of phases in a system at equilibrium. Next question. According to plate tectonic theory, lithospheric plates move over the A. outer core, B. asthenosphere, C. inner core, and D. crust. The correct option goes as B. asthenosphere. According to plate tectonic theory, lithospheric plates move over the asthenosphere, which is a semi-fluid, ductile layer of the Earth's upper mantle. These rigid plates are broken up into pieces that float on and slowly slide across this weaker layer with their movement driven by convection currents in the mantle. Next question. The vertical axis of Mohr circle shows A. shear stress, B. normal stress, C. yield stress, and D. axial stress. The correct option goes as A. shear stress. The vertical axis of Mohr's circle, it shows the shear stress, while the horizontal axis shows the normal stress, and each point on the circle, it represents the state of the normal and shear stresses on a particular plane passing through a material point. Next question. Which of the following is a metamorphic rock? A. Granite, B. Limestone, C. Shale, and D. Gneiss. Obviously, gneiss is a metamorphic rock. It is formed by intense heat and pressure that alters the pre-existing rocks like granite or sandstone into a new banded rock, and it is identified by its distinct alternating light and dark mineral bands and a texture known as foliation. Next question. Anthracite is A. lowest rank, B. intermediate rank, C. highest rank, and D. bituminous. Anthracite is the highest ranking coal, meaning it has the highest carbon content and the highest energy density and the highest calorific value. And it is a hard, brittle, and shiny black coal that burns cleanly with a low amount of volatile matter. Next question. Cyclones are areas of A. high pressure with diverging winds, B. low pressure with converging winds, C. neutral pressure, and D. static air. Cyclones are areas of low pressure with converging winds. Cyclones are caused by atmospheric disturbances around a low pressure area distinguished by swift and often destructive air circulation. Cyclones are usually accompanied by violent storms and bad weather. Next question. Laminar flow occurs when Reynolds number is A. high, B. low, that is less than 2000, and C. 5000 to 10,000, and D. irrelevant. The correct option goes as B. low. For laminar flow, the Reynolds number is less than 2000 for flow in pipes. Laminar flow is characterized by smooth, orderly motion with minimal mixing, and it occurs when viscous forces are dominant over inertial forces. Next question. Birefringence in minerals is due to A. double refraction, B. magnetic field, C. heating, and D. density. Birefringence in minerals, it is due to double refraction. Birefringence in minerals is caused by the material's anisotropic crystal structure, where the atoms are not arranged uniformly in all directions. This means the mineral has a refractive index that depends on the direction the light travels through it, and it causes it to split into two rays with different speeds and polarization directions. So birefringence in minerals is due to double refraction. Next question. The periodic table is organized by A. increasing atomic number and recurring properties, B. mass only, C. electronegativity only, and D. density. The periodic table is organized by increasing atomic number and recurring properties. The periodic table is arranged by increasing atomic number, which places elements with similar chemical properties into vertical columns called groups, and this arrangement, based on the modern periodic law, organizes elements from left to right and top to bottom in rows called periods. Next question. Carbon-14 dating is suitable for A. rocks older than 1 million years, B. organic remains less than 50,000 years, C. zircon dating, and D. igneous rocks. Carbon-14 dating is suitable for organic remains less than 50,000 years. Carbon-14 dating is suitable for determining the age of the organic materials such as fossils, archaeological artifacts, and remains that are between 500 and 50,000 years old. It is widely used in archaeology, geology, and anthropology to date materials that once changed carbon with the atmosphere. Next question. The total number of space groups in crystals is A. 14, B. 32, C. 230, and D. 48. The total number of space groups in crystals is 230. There are 230 distinct space groups in three-dimensional crystals. These groups are a combination of point groups, the symmetry elements that leave a point fix, and lattice translations, which represents all possible ways symmetry can be arranged in a 3D periodic structure. Next question. Hydrothermal vents are found at A. continental slopes, B. mid-ocean ridges, C. abyssal plains, and D. trenches. Hydrothermal vents are found at mid-ocean ridges. Hydrothermal vents are primarily found along mid-oceanic ridges, where tectonic plates pull apart and which creates fissures in the seafloor, and the magma heats the seawater that seeps into these fissures, and as the superheated mineral-rich water rises and mixes with the cold ocean water, it forms vents and deposits minerals, creating unique ecosystem around them. Next question. The theory of natural selection was proposed by A. Mendel, B. Charles Darwin, C. Lamarck, and D. Wallace. The theory of natural selection was proposed by Charles Darwin, an English naturalist, and he outlined the theory in his 1859 book on the origin of the species after his voyage on the HMS Beagle. The theory explains that individuals with traits better suited to their environment and are more likely to survive and reproduce, passing those advantageous traits to their offsprings. Next question. Hydrothermal vent deposits are rich in A. Quartz, B. Copper, zinc, gold, and sulfides, C. Clay minerals, and D. Halite. Hydrothermal vent deposits are rich in copper, zinc, gold, and sulfides. Hydrothermal vent deposits are rich in the valuable minerals and metals, including copper, zinc, gold, silver, and iron. They also contain other metals like lead, cobalt, and nickel. These deposits form when mineral-rich superheated water from beneath the ocean floor emerges and cools, precipitating out dissolved minerals. Next question. Glossopteris flora is typical of A. Gondwana sequence, B. Cretaceous, and C. Vindhyan, D. Sivalic. Glossopteris flora is typical of Gondwana, an ancient supercontinent that included present-day South America, Africa, India, Australia, Antarctica, and New Zealand. It thrived during the Permian period and Triassic periods, and its widespread fossil remains are the key evidence for the existence of this former landmass. Hope you have followed the content and the question. See you in the next video. Thank you for your time.